You see here? I think we're going now. Let's see. It's been a little tricky tonight. Yo, what's up, dude? Can you hear me and see me okay? It was, the camera was sort of locking up a little bit. Now I'm worried about it. I feel like my voice is off. I feel like everything's a little off here. I don't know. Check, check. Yo, what's up, dudes? Hey, what's up, Gabor? What's up, buddy? What's up, Whip? Sounds good. People say it sounds good. It could cut out at any time. I'm warning everybody right now. It was just locking up and just freezing on me. The image would freeze, and then the software would say there's no camera available. So I don't know, it was working, and then all of a sudden it froze. And it doesn't fill me with a happy, good feeling here. People saying it's fine, looks good, you're good, your food. I think he meant good. Voice and the voice sounds okay in comparison to the guitar. No, you rock 40 plus. What's up, Steve from Steve? Nice guitar, thank you. How rare or limited is the Pribenez Pro? The 540R in turquoise? I don't know. I forget the Pro series. The Pro was a line of guitars, right? Or am I thinking Power? Guitar slightly lower. Guitar could come up a little bit. I can do that. I think. Let me see. How can I do that? I'm so worried about hitting anything. My paranoia is up here. All right, let me go to the Focusrite control here. All right, I just brought the guitar up slightly. Let me know if that's a little better. What's up, Daniel? That better? Better. People are saying it's better. Good. Good. Going by a little fast. My voice is a little loud on the guitar. I can bring the voice down just a hair. Check, 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 a check. A check 1, 2. Still have that Harley Benton gold top? I do. In fact, Bobby came by today. He was pointing at it. Asking about it. Yeah, those are good, man. The Harley Benton, that gold top with the little P90s there. Short money guitar, but a lot of guitar for a little money. I gotta say, pretty good. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you. Exactly. No, guitar is not dead at all. I know, and of course, I'm not saying that. Everything I see shows guitar is actually doing pretty damn well. But Pete Townsend, I think, the guy from Polyphia came out and says he hopes, rock is going to die and all this stuff, and it's like, whatever. But I think what he was doing was sort of basing it off of what Pete Townsend had recently said, and he just basically said, like, everything that can possibly be done with the guitar has already been done. Which is, a little discouraging, but, what the hell does Pete know? It's like, maybe, maybe not. I mean, we thought that until the whole detuning thing came along, and then that sort of changed guitar quite a bit. I guess he would argue it's not guitar anymore, right? It's some new instrument, baritone guitar or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, we can have that argument, but I just think that everything I see shows that guitar's still doing pretty damn well. So I don't know where it comes from, other than the Pete Townsend quote, and then that seemed to be sort of jagged on by Polyphia in a recent interview. And so, I mean, has every single possible thing been done? I don't know. How about this? No. Been done. Yeah, I guess he kind of has a point. But, my point is like, and I know what he's saying, it's like it's all riffs, but, with Stevie Ray Vaughan was completely new and not new at all. You see what I'm saying? That's a paradox with a guy like that, right? He was brand new, and yet he wasn't brand new at all. He was just playing blues riffs, but they were his blues riffs, and he added something to the vocabulary. There is an SRV style, right? He has some instantly recognizable riffs. John Scofield, the same way. Mike Stern. There are guys out there, Van Halen, Randy Rhoads. There's a bunch of guys out there who, because I'm into them and listen to them, Jimmy Page, many times over, there's certain things. It's the characteristic to their style of playing. And it sort of becomes them, especially a guy like John Scofield. I can pick his playing out in a heartbeat. I remember working in IT, going to a guy's office, in a big giant freaking high-rise, and he had something in the background was playing, and I said, that sounds like Steve Morse. And he had a stunned look on his face. He was like, well, it is a Steve Morse band. It's a band called the Dixie Dregs. I'm like, no, I've heard of the Dixie Dregs. I said, I don't know the song, but that sounds like Steve Morse playing. So it just sort of, every player is sort of trying to add their own little style to it. Groundbreakers like Hendrix, groundbreakers like, Van Halen. So it's like, I don't know. Is it all completely done? Maybe. But who's Pete to say? I mean, what about movies? Movies seem to be, right? I mean, maybe we are just rewriting the same story over and over again. Good against evil, boy gets girl, buddy cop. Fish out of water, right? All those generic terms for those style of movies, but I don't know. Everything I see when I go around is a lot of younger guys playing guitar, and that bodes well. You want to see young people playing. Yeah, Ricky says guitar will never die. I think you're right. Orange is new black. Yeah. Actually, the orange, I don't know what's going on. I got to reach out to them because we were talking and they were going to send me some labels. And I haven't seen the labels yet. So either they sent them and I missed them, or they're in my spam box, or they haven't sent them yet. So, but, I'll be honest, as much as I love them, they're taking up a lot of space and I'd love to get them back to them. I got plans for that space right there. I got a little coffee table I dug out. I got to think of a little coffee table there or something. Anyway, same half dozen scripts being rehashed. Yeah, I thought that until Team America World Police, and then my whole outlook on life changed. It might be done. Brian says it might be done, but I don't care. I still love it. Yeah, see, that's just it. You can still get excited about new players. I thought, so when I went to 42 Gear Street, there was a really young guy there. This guy named Sammy Bowler, right? He's in his 20s, a young dude, but here's that new gen, right? Guys like Rabia Masad, right? Here's that next gen of players coming out, really high end. Hey, thanks, Chad. Hope you're doing well, too. Right? So it's like, what encourages you is like you don't want to go to the NAMM show and everybody there is pushing friggin' 60, right? Or you go to these gear events and all the artists are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, right? That's like, maybe guitar is losing steam a little bit. But when you go and it's a bunch of young guys, like the guys from Polyphia, were at the friggin', TGU. They're at TGU, So it's good to see young people in the mix, keeping guitar going. Well, some would say, what's up, Coots? Or should I say, bonjour? So anyone managed to sit through the whole Ignacy interview at Anderson's? I couldn't do it. Yeah, I skipped it. I just skipped it. That's better. That's better for someone else to watch. I'll read the bullet points later. Ricky says, if guitar is dead, there's more guitar stuff in the internet now than ever, and I don't see it dying. Exactly. So, I think the place where it goes is it goes to the internet, and that's what's keeping it alive right now. Oh, thanks so much, JP. You rock, bro. Oh, you rock. It's here in North Miami Beach, originally from New York, and I don't like the Yankees. Glad to hear that. Now we can be friends. That's because same old guys are booking the same acts. That you could have something right there. Booking the people who are actually making the choices about who to book. Yeah. Well, that's where YouTube just says this, right? I'm doing my own thing. I'm forcing you to pay attention to me. You're not going to give me the goddamn time of day. But I'm forcing you to pay attention to me because I'm doing well on YouTube. And you can't help but ignore the eyeballs I'm getting, right? That's sort of like it's a disruptor to the industry. I can self-publish through DistroKid or whoever, right? That was the one that was all the rage a few years ago. Everyone was pushing it on YouTube. What's up, Rob? Mark must have agreed to the interview only if Captain Lee didn't ask the hard questions. I don't know about that. I don't know if I mentioned it to you guys, but I did run into the CEO of Gibson at Summer NAMM. And I happened to be wearing an Epiphone badge. I had a couple of badges, but the one I happened to have right up front was Epiphone gave me a badge as an artist, an Epiphone artist, right? And so I'm there, and he sees my Epiphone badge. I saw him, and I go, hey, quick interview. He's like, well, who are you with, right? And I was like, oh, just a little company. And he goes, all right, smart ass. And he goes, let's do it. So we set up the interview. Again, this is with James Curley, the CEO of Gibson, just he and I, standing in the aisle in front of the Gibson booth with my GoPro. And I don't even know what he said to me, because all I could think in my head is, how are you going to ask him about this? And at the end of it, he was so nice. I was like, I'm not gonna do it to him. Now, you could couch it in a way. You could say, listen, I know you guys have been, a little bit more. The company released a statement recently that said you're going to be a little bit more cooperative and a little less adversarial about IP protection. Could you talk about that? Right? That's what we call a softball, right? A little meatball right down the middle of the plate. That right? But even there, I was just like, at the end of the day, I kind of felt like I was putting him on the spot, and he was nice enough to grant me the interview. And this was spur of the moment, and it wasn't like, this is 60 minutes and everything's off, And so I just felt like I was putting him on the spot. I could see the captain thinking the same way. saying, I invited this guy here. He's coming here to do this for me. I'm not going to put the guy on the spot. So, that's all. What's up? Play some Beatles. And scene. Got to be careful with a lot of stuff out there. They get you for the copyright infringement. They've been increasingly militant. I don't like it. Are you north or south of Boston? I am south. Southwest. Southwest corridor. Any experience with the 2019 Gibsons? I do. The new ones, like the 50s and the 60s series, yes. When I was at TGU, I grabbed China Mike, right, from China Guitar Skeptic there, and we went over and checked out a couple of the Gibsons and loved them. Had a lot of fun. And we got back, and that video came out, and it became, I was like, I'm not putting this video out. I'm gonna let that just die down a little bit. When I do put it out, I think I'm going to just basically say, you know, the use of the word authentic has now become cliche and tired and sad. Use at your own risk. Because really, you know, the joke was over like literally months ago. But some people still, it cracks them up apparently. Ray's saying the balance is excellent. Greetings from Germany. Oh, guten Tag. It's kind of late for you there, you know, late in the evening. I appreciate you staying up. Whew, I need a sip of coffee. Someone said hello, hello. Hello back. Hello to everybody. Mid-morning here in God's country. Yeah, right. Oh. I got something to throw you off. Diary of a Madman intro. Yeah, I do that one a lot. I guess I kind of need the neck pickup for that, right? Right? Ah. Yeah, THU. Frank says, THU, question mark? Yep. Ah. See if anyone knows that one. There's a pluck. Why do you look up when you're playing? Because I keep all my notes right here on a big screen. Oh, God. It's more. I'm more like rolling my eyes, going, "God damn it! God effing damn it!" Godfather theme. I don't think I know that. It's like I should know it. Did I miss anything, Rock Lobster? You didn't miss Rock Lobster. What model Charvel is that? This is the Sandemus. Let me breathe into the microphone a little more. Sandemus, Sandemus, Sandemus. The old Sandemus. What are your thoughts on the new Steel Panther album? I haven't heard it yet. I got to check that out. Is it out? Is it like fully out? You know, I have Amazon like Mega Music with everything, and they're pretty good about including just about everything. It's pretty damn good. So, you know, I should just check it out on Amazon Music. I pretty much the entire catalog of everyone seems to be on there. It's the pay service one, the Amazon Mega Prime, whatever it is. I pay like $15 a month for the whole family. Up to 4 accounts, or 6 accounts. Ugh. Steve, any opinions on laminated acoustics, good or bad? Well, you can laminate the back and the sides, and you won't lose a ton of tone, but when you laminate the top, I mean, it really just depends guitar to guitar, but solid top is where it's at. Really is. That's really where you're. That's your money plank, right? On an acoustic, the top. the top is like 70%, and like the back is like 25%, and the sides are like 5%. If my math is correct, that should add up to 300%. Just watching one of your old Charvel studios today. Good times with Bobby off camera, of course. Yeah, Bobby came over today. He brought by an ESP. He had an ESP with the Tiger ESP, with a single pickup. It was an LTD. Looked pretty nice, though. Killer neck, maple. It was clean. It was like really, really. He bought it new, so I mean, of course, it's it's going to be. But I'm just saying, like the build quality was clean. It was nice. I gotta think that those are made in Indonesia. Too late for coffee, I'll be up. Well, I have a rule about coffee. It says too late for coffee, be up all night. My rule for coffee is never after 12:30 a.m. I have a hard out. That's making in a fresh cup, which I'll probably drink through about 1:30 and go to bed at 2 a.m. Coffee doesn't keep me up anymore, but it does make me wake up in the middle of the night and pee. It sucks. I hate that. So, it's like you're waking up, whine all the way to the toilet. Where's Indonesia? It's made in Indonesia. Favorite coffee, or are you fine with any drink? I am not fine with any drink. I need a dark roast. On most of the beans on the side, they have one of those gauges, right? Like light to dark. It's got to be all the way to the dark side, or pretty damn close to it. A Colombian will be dead center, right? And a light roast is some of those blonde roasts. I like a dark roast. Stinky, oily beans, right? I don't want light colored beans. I want darkness. Darkness. Trying to think a song with dark in it. Anyway, the point is darkness. Yeah, right now, Sumatran, I think the Sumatran, I forget if the Sumatran was recently. I don't think it was. I think it's going to be coming back up again. It's Costa Rican right now. Costa Rican. The red one. The red Costa Rican. Steve, favorite wah pedal? Well, I'm intrigued by the Friedman wah. I want them to send me one. Friedman. Come on, Dave. We were just hanging out. Come on, bud. Because I'm intrigued by it. It seems like it has like a bunch of different settings on it. It could be like a great all-in-one wah, right? It's got like a modern sound. It's got vintage, which, let's face it, it's a goddamn crybaby. It probably has like a crybaby and a Vox and their own modern sound in it, right? It's about, it's maybe a Morley, right? You switch it up and change the filtering a little bit. So that's intriguing. I like that. So you can just like zippity-doo all the way through till you find one you like. And when you get bored of that one, you can switch out to another one. You don't have to buy another pedal. So, and they look like they're built, I was checking one out at 42 Gear State. They look like they're built like a tank, so that's always a good thing. That Friedman, yeah. Yeah, damn it, Friedman. Is he in here? Is he in here right now? Wow. Putting out all my sending wah thoughts. Why won't you send me one? I wonder if I could get a touch wah going. A touch of the touch wah. All right, here we go. I'm trying to turn. You know what? There's a little clean killer, a little quiet kill in the front of this because when I run it with my single coils, kind of creeps out. So let me go to the right and switch down, yeah, and go down, yeah. There's got to be an Ottawa right there, brah. Ottawa to the rescue. Not bad, but you can hear it wiring on and off. It's like you're gonna break into a goddamn Edie Brickell song. I'm still waiting. Oh, you want Diary of Madman with the distortion? Oh. Hey, thanks, Metalhead Hippie. I'm doing well. How you doing, buddy? I like my coffee like my women, naturally bitter, right? What's that toast? Like gunpowder for fun and pussy for love, and love the smell of both. Something. Still have a little left. And then I'm going to have to go get more, guys. Can't run out of coffee, because after this cup and the other cup, there's only 2 cups left. And done. What's up, Chris from Akron? I like my coffee like my women too. They both give me a headache in the shakes, yeah. They both make me sweat at inappropriate times. Hey, Steve, are you in E-flat? I very well could be. A lot of times on these Floyd Rose guitars, I keep them in E-flat because I'll want to jam the Van Halen, and he will inevitably be in E-flat. Anyway, back to the... He's got the coffee jitters plays better, yeah. Doesn't hurt. It's E-flat, just checked, okay. Good work, August. What's up, T. Capito? I'm on fire tonight. That's pretty good coffee. I was going to say the Costa Ricans, they make a good blend. Are you familiar with Rick Beato's channel? Yeah, I was with Rick at GitCon 2. I was hanging out with Rick. And then where did I see Rick again? Winter Nam. Like Rick. Rick's a good guy. Thoughts on the continued Gibson hate? I think it's easy, but that horse has been dead a long time. And the authentic joke, I think, has been unfunny for 2 weeks after it came out, right? It had a shelf life of maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. You know what? I'll go 2 full weeks of hilarious laughter. And then after that, it just got a little tired. So I just think the whole authentic thing has just run its course, to the nth degree, Jokes are funny. Repeated jokes are cliche. Steve, what are you doing with all those orange slices back to you? I'm shipping them back to the Mama Orange. In fact, I got some videos coming out this month on them. I did a roundup of all the crushes. You got your small. You got your small. You got your. All right. See, it's opposite world for me. God damn it. God damn it. You get your medium. And then right there, it's a friggin' opposite world for me. Right there is the large. So you got your right there. God, this is hard. You get the small. That's I think a 6-inch or an 8-inch speaker. Might be an 8-inch. And then you got your medium. I think that's a 10-inch. And then or an 8-inch, and that's a 6, and that's an 8. And then down there, this one here, right here, this is a big one. That's 212. That's sort of like the extra large. They make a 112 that's 60 watts, or the 212 that's 120 watts, right? So, they're great amps, but they're straight up analog, right? It's sort of like anti-modeling. And then, of course, there's the, right there, this little black bag is a Dark Terror, and I compare that to the more modern, I was going to say Jim Root, but it's not the Jim Root, it's the Brent Hines. It's like you want to say, Alexa, order Mastodon for me, ordering massive dongs for you. But yeah, it's that's a killer amp. You know what? I was a huge fan of the Dark Terror. Really, it's probably my favorite amp by Orange. That and the Jim Root, which is a very similar design. But I actually think I might even like that a little better, a little more versatile. And it sounds really good. The story channel on it is like butter. That's what we would say here. It's like butter. Need a brand. So Tim, thank you. And Tim says, need a brand coffee called Napalm. I love this. I love Napalm in the morning. Oh, dude, there you go. You rock. No, you rock. Orange Man, great. Yeah. Dark Terror is amazing. That's a really good amp, But and the funny thing is I was just amazed that I thought I even might have liked the Brent Hines even a little better, which shocked me because I'm such a fan of the Dark Terror. Is that mic behind you good for guitar right here? Yeah, that's a really good vocal mic. I would also use that on acoustic guitar. I could take a high sound pressure level. You could put it in front of an amp. I probably wouldn't use that by itself in front of an amp. I'd probably use it in conjunction with either their pencil mic or really their, oh yeah, I have it right here. They're dynamic, let's just face it, it's an SM57. Right, that's what they're targeting. It's right there. I would use this and, or an SM57 and that up there. Both of them together would be sick because you'd get the full range. You'd get that nice mid push out of one of these, and then that's going to be it's going to capture your low end and your high end like really freaking good. The only thing you got to worry about is their alignment. Once you look at those waveforms, you might have to go in and blow them way up and look at them and literally tick one of the waveforms slightly so that they line up just right, or else you're going to get a little phasing. That's the hard part about using two mics, getting them just right. And it doesn't go by where the mic screen is, it goes by where the capsule is, right? So takes it right, and it does, in sound waves that can make enough of a difference. You can't just throw them anywhere. So, what's up? What's up, Tone Seeker from Texas? What do you think of the Shure SM27? I don't think I've ever used one. All the new amps and new modeling will do nobody good unless you know how to dial in a good tone. All that cool new stuff is useless unless you know what you're doing. I agree. I couldn't agree more. Could you play one of your Kramers? Do I have a Kramer out here? I think I actually moved that one back over there. I've been cleaning up here quite a bit, trying to move a bunch of crap out of here. I got rid of the freaking an air conditioner I had that was enormous and taking up so much space, and it's just a monolith. It didn't work anymore, but you can't just get rid of them around here. I had to pay money, and it took 2 days a year, and one of the days was last Saturday. So just getting that stupid thing out of the way just opens up more space and frees up a bunch of stuff. I do have a new guitar, though. We could switch it up if you want to try a new guitar. I do have something I don't think anybody's seen yet. Bobby saw it today and practically shit himself. Is this the outbuilding or basement? This is the basement. I do have a garage that's detached and has electricity, but it doesn't have heat. So it'd be cold out there. Fall showed up. It's brisk out there tonight. And then the other place I use is the attic, which I've been sort of working on. Anyone, what do they charge you for mattress removal? It depends on your town. My town, you can bring the mattress up to the dump, but you got to get it there yourself, and they'll take it for free. But you got to transport it and get it to the dump. If you want curbside pickup, if they even offer it, it's usually like $20 or $25. And they'll schedule it, and they'll say, all right, around here they'd say, put it out on the curb. The driver will come by. Hot shot. Yeah, no, I've got toys in the attic. But yeah, if you want to, if you can bring it to the dump, they'll take it for free, which is that's rare around here. Let me tell you, it really is. All right, well, I think we can move. Let me mute this. I'm so worried this is all going to lock up on me, but if it does, I'll try and get it going again. Probably can't. I don't think I can revive a show once it's over. I think once it's ended, it's ended. Anyway, I'm going to mute this. All right, that's dead. I'm going to kill my... All right, everybody calm down. Check. Unmute. Restore. Bring back. Oh. It's in tune. For the most part. It's one of 9 made. But that's not really true. That's a bullshit marketing line. It's true, but it's not true. You see the binding? It's mahogany. Yeah, there you go. That's a good shot. Again, I'm in goddamn opposite world here. Here we go. All right. My arms are getting tired. So, this is a J Custom. This is the equivalent of like a Fender custom shop, a Gibson custom shop, etc. This particular model was extremely limited. But it doesn't mean shit. Because this model is based on another model that's identically configured. Okay, so it really doesn't mean anything. But if you're like an Ibanez aficionado, I can just give you the backstory on this. This is basically a made-for-Japan only model called like the 8750 or the 8720 or the 8570 or some shit like that, right? A very high number RG. It's the pinnacle top of the line. It's only made in like the J Custom factory, right? This is not a production guitar. These are the handmade J Custom shop, right? Small team of people, one guy to a guitar, some shit like, you know what I'm saying? 2 guys to a guitar. It's pretty, right? It's all the hand, it's the top of the line. This is their custom shop thing. So they would make these for the Japanese market and you couldn't get them in America. So they knew there was demand for the product in America, but these are extremely high cost instruments because of the whole custom shop crap. So they never produced them for the American market. They only produced them for the Japanese market. And they knew that there was pent-up demand for them in the American market because they were selling them all over friggin' eBay. And you could buy one from like Mr. Sparkle and have one sent over. And they were missing out on money because people were buying them and shipping them over to the States, right? So what becomes like they say, instead of just making these exclusively, these pinnacle models exclusively for the Japanese market, we're going to do it. And this is almost 10 years, this is 9 years ago. This is 2011. They say, we're going to do it and we're going to make it for the USA market. It's not going to be made in USA. It's going to be still made in Japan in the J Custom shop, but it's going to be exclusively for the USA market. And they took orders at the NAMM show, and you had to get your order in by the end of the month, by like January 30th, of that year, if you wanted to place an order. They made 9 in red, they made 9 in black, they made 9 in purple, they made 18 in like an antique violin sunburst, which is freaking gorgeous. And they made 9 in, I think, one other color. And that was it. That was the lot of all of them. So this was one of 9. If you look up, they give you like all this stupid ass case candy. These carried a ridiculously high list price, right? The MSRP on this was $4,666.65, and what that got you was a special custom case, which is off camera and you can't see it. But I wonder if I could pull it over here, though. I wonder if I could just tilt this. Like enough. You see the case? You see this case here? See that? The purple case? The purple crushed velour. Apparently that's sort of a rare thing. The outside of the case where it says made by, J Custom, it's embroidered. Like, don't get it wet. Came with the, big certificates and all this case candy stuff and beat and the whammy bar, and it came with a 300-page book on the history of Ibanez, the one that probably was being reissued right around that time, 2011. It was sort of like a whole package. Comes with the, I don't know if you can see it here, sorry for breathing in the mic on you there, the satin cover sheet, So when you open the case, there's another moment of, reveal. So these were like ridiculously high priced. So the map on it was considerably less. The minimum advertised price, I think, was $32.99. And I don't want to tell you what I paid for this, but I paid less than half of that. Way less than half of that. And as soon as I saw it, I said, oh my God, that's like a J Custom for that money. Oh my God. That can't be right. And I called them up right away. And I did my homework on the guitar. He gave me the number. He says, dude, look up RG 2011. That's what it is. It's an RG 2011Z. And I said, oh, all right, I'll look it up. And I could see all the crap it came with and what they sold for. And the last one to sell on, Reverb sold for like $2,800, like $2,899. And so I was like, wow, that's up there. And I couldn't really find one less than that. I'm sure there are, but I was paying less than half that. So I kind of sort of felt like I was safe, right? It's like I couldn't screw up in this deal. And I wasn't even looking for a guitar like this. I had actually just recently sold a guitar that looks almost exactly like this. I'm like, what are you doing? You just got rid of a guitar. But it was a chance to go from J Craft, which is what I just got rid of, which was a production model, which is a gorgeous guitar, a beautiful guitar. I just hadn't been playing it a lot, And I was just like, you know what? I wanted to basically probably fund that Strat, right? Get rid of that and sort of pay for this. And, I've been trying to do that. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to pull the trigger on it. It's like there's no way I can lose money on this guitar. And breaking even, whoever gets it would be getting a smoking deal. Anyway, that's it. Sounds so good. Am I on the right thing? Gotta hit him. And I've got to, I guess the strings are pretty good. I was going to say I might just change up the strings, but the strings are brand new, and I think they're 10s. haven't had it out of the case in like a couple of weeks. And the PRS is where, I know, right? That's next. That's got to be next. I mean, right? They did have a killer PRS on there recently, but I wasn't fast enough to buy it. I would have bought it in a freaking heartbeat. I think it was a better deal than this. It was a custom 22 in a brown, I guess they call it, what were they calling it? They were like an amber, right? It's like a brown, not tiger's eye though. It wasn't that brown. That's a little different. But it was, a beautiful, brown stain. It was a 10 top, a gorgeous 10 top. And that thing was up, at $2,200 down to $1,799, down to $1,499. That got down to $1,299, which is what Guitar Center is known to do. Right? If they want to move the stock, they will drop that price. And it got down to $1,299. I was like, oh my God. But and it must have just sold because there's a little period where when you click on it, it doesn't say the listing is gone. You click on it and it basically, sometimes it says, we're sorry, this listing is sold. And sometimes you click on it and it says insufficient stock, right? That's the shortest period, right? The whole insufficient stock one. Because it'll show that it's in stock until you go to add it. And they'll say, oh, we're sorry, we have insufficient stock on this. And it's damn it. Guitar Center sold a 52 Les Paul in good condition for $5,000. They sold a 59 Les Paul in pretty damn good condition for $115,000. Now, I know that sounds like a lot of money, but I thought the condition of that guitar warranted 4 times that money. I saw a guitar that had headstock repair, and they wanted almost €300,000 when I was in Europe. And the die had completely faded. The die was completely intact on this guitar. It was a true red sunburst 59. Intact die, gorgeous mint condition, head to toe, and they wanted $115,000 and it sold. Favorite song to perform at the Rocking 1000? I liked Won't Get Fooled Again. I liked the medley. I liked Highway to Hell. I'm trying to think of what else. Those are the ones that really come to memory, Right. I forget it. Doesn't take that long. I'm reaching for my bar. Then the question is how much do I play this thing, right? It's supposed to be a goddamn collectible. One other thing is that I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. But that feels like lacquer. It's like, is this the only one they lacquer, or is this like their super high-end poly? And if you look, you can see the flames like flaming up. I don't know if I can get just the right. You see up in the horn there? You can see how bumpy it is. Right? Because of the, shit. Yeah, there you go. Alright, you can see the flambeing. Which tells me it's very thin. And he did this all night. It's the rest of the show, people. Maybe you could flip for a profit and get a PRS. Yeah, I could, but you know what? I like this guitar so much. I'd feel a little. I feel like I got it for such short money. Kind of like how I got the Strat. Someone was asking me, well, what about the Strat in the thumbnail? I already used that in the live show. I don't even know where that is. Well, that might be over there in that pile of guitars. That's a pretty recent. Yeah, that was a little older, but yeah, that's a hell of a guitar too. That Strat. That's a good one. Yeah, RC32 says I'd keep it in perfect condition as a collectible. I'm kind of thinking the same thing. The only thing that says it against it is this guitar, forgetting like the whole stupid 2011 thing. Let me just finish my thought on that. They wound up just releasing that 8570 or 8250 or whatever the hell it was, the 8000 series one that was only for the Japanese market. They wound up putting it up to the USA anyway. So this was a short-lived series, like 1 year. They might have done an RG 2012Z, but I don't think so. I think it was only 2011, and then they skipped a few years, and then they finally, I think it's either 2015 or 2016, or it might have been maybe as recently as even 2017. They just said, the hell with it. We're going to let the J Customs go all over the world, and they opened them up for Europe. Although they was probably in Europe for a couple of years before America, and then finally the American market. So this guitar, all the appointments on the guitar, the top, the back, the neck, and all that, you can just buy it from J Custom. It's still the same thing, but it probably doesn't have the book and the custom case. It'll come in a nice case, but not this exact case, right? So there's a couple things that put it out, but that type of stuff doesn't really mean a lot to me, quite frankly. Right? It's like, that's all just collectible stuff. Now, that was my thinking back when I had my Gem 777, which I sold for short money. Probably should have stuck, I'd be winning the internet right now if I held on to it. But, yeah, I'll probably play it. I played the Gem. I had no qualms about playing the Gem. I could play it. Hey, showman. Didn't you sell that Strat? I did sell that Strat. I didn't sell it. I traded it. So I bought a Select Strat in 2016, right? I think I got it. And loved it. And someone else loved it. And they had a Les Paul. And they said, I'll trade you straight up for my Les Paul Premium Plus. And at first I said no. But then, like, Bobby and another buddy of mine was like, you got a ton of Strats, man. Why don't you get a Les Paul? Like, this is your opportunity to not even lay out any cash. It's like you're losing a nice Strat, admittedly, but you're gaining a Les Paul, and you already have like 8 freaking Strats. And I'm like, you're making a good point right now. So I wound up doing the deal, loved it, loved the Les Paul, great guitar. Don't play it a ton, but I do play it. It's in such good condition. Like this is in such good condition. You don't want to play it because you're worried about scratching it up. So, but I play it once in a while to dig it out. Especially when company's over, it's a good guitar to break out. You want to play the Les Paul? They're like, yeah. So it's great. It's a great guitar. But I kind of missed the Strat after like a year or two. I was like, oh. So I kept looking around, say, well, maybe one will show back up again. And they were, but they were either too expensive, or they weren't quite the right one, right? The Select Strat was in like 2011, 2012, 2013. That's the one I had, the 2013, 2014, and I think 2015 was the last year of the cedar body, right? They made the body out of like Port Orford cedar or some shit like that. The one I had was the 2013, which is the large headstock and the humbucker and the flame top, and the exact one showed up on Guitar Center used for like super short money, like $8.99. It didn't have a case, didn't have a whammy bar, but whatever, I'll buy those separately. And I jumped all over it. Because I was like pretty much half price from what I had been seeing. And pickguard was a little scratched up, but I just replaced it with a mint green one and never looked back. It's great. So that's the one you see in the thumbnail. That's the Select Strat. I'm going to guess and say you like orange amps. Yeah, I do. I do like orange amps. Those are on loan. Those are loaners from my good friends over at Orange. And those are going back. I'm hoping this week. I'll reach out to them on Monday and see what the hell happened. Or I'll check my spam box and just make sure it didn't show up there. But we were all talking about sending them back, and then I hadn't heard from them. So I'll see what's up. I'm sure it's my fault. I'm just going to guess it's my fault on this. But we'll get them back to them. And I have all the boxes. I actually recently dug out all the boxes. So they're going back soon. And then you'll see those videos coming up in the next few weeks. In fact, we should probably talk about that a little bit. You're going to see a lot more videos from me real soon. I've been sitting on a lot of content because, in fact, we should actually even talk about that a little bit more. So remember a couple of weeks ago, let me go back to the beginning. I shot a lot of content this summer, and I've had trouble editing it a little bit, mainly because I've had like audio problems. Couldn't get audio to really work correctly, and I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. It came to a head. I couldn't get Adobe to work, but at least friggin' OBS worked, and I could do my live show, right? And I could always go on and do a live show. And I was even going to just switch to this as a camera temporarily until I could figure out what was going on with Adobe Premiere. And anyway, I was just having problems with it, but I figured I would work it out, and then all of a sudden OBS wouldn't work. And then I was like, what the hell is going on here? And it wouldn't work on any of my machines. All right, and I went up in the attic, couldn't get it to go. And remember what I did, right? Remember I used my phone for 1 week because I literally had no way to get freaking content out. And then the week after that, I came back a couple of weeks after that, and I redid my system. Remember that? I put a brand new drive in it and wiped it out and put a whole new operating system on it from scratch and did it, and it worked, and I was stoked, and I'm like, I'm a very stable genius, right? And I tried, and a couple days later, I checked it, and it didn't work again. Didn't work. And I'm like losing it. I'm like losing my goddamn mind over here, and I can't figure it out. I had a breakthrough a week ago today, literally last Saturday. I couldn't get it to work down here. It stopped working. I checked my updates. The only thing it updated was .NET. You guys familiar with .NET? It's sort of like a programming, it's an API. It's an application programming interface. It's basically a way to come up with apps to hook into Windows, right? You go through, use like their .NET strategy for programming. And anyway, I think it's like their latest version of, like, say, Visual Basic, right? It makes programming a little easier. So anyway, that was the only thing that it updated, was like this .NET like subsystem update. I'm like, is it .NET related? Is it something to do with the subsystem? Happened to be up in the attic a week ago, and I was playing through my rig, and I had it playing through my headphones, and I'm listening to the headphones, and I'm realizing it's coming out somewhere else, and I pull the headphones back, and it's coming out of my desktop speakers, which were not hooked up to the Focusrite. I did have the Focusrite, though, going out and going into the back to the microphone in, right? And I had the speakers on for the regular desktop system sound. That tells me that that input is working. It's getting audio. It's hearing the Focusrite. So I'm like, how the hell am I getting sound out of these speakers? But Adobe can't see it. OBS can't see it. It works inside of THU, but I don't know. I don't get it. Anyway, that told me it had to be something to do with like permissions, because the system always has permissions, but the rest of the system doesn't. So sure enough, I went into the microphone permissions, and I had the microphone turned on, and I had it on for like one or two select new gen apps. But now if you scroll down to the bottom, and I'd done this before and scrolled through looking for OBS, and OBS wasn't listed, but that's O's, and I didn't go down past that. All the way at the bottom, there's a new little panel at the bottom, and it says, like, allow microphone access by legacy apps, what they call desktop apps, right? Which is what I'm using here. I'm not using the new gen apps. They suck. They're like goddamn web applets, for Christ's sakes. They're so weak on features. Nobody's programming them. They're garbage, I think, for the most part. I haven't really seen any decent new gen apps. They all seem to be x86, x64, all gen legacy apps that are written most likely in their goddamn .NET. So I think what happened was, even though, and again, I'm on 1809 instead of 1903, right? So I'm on the older version. I thought that's what fixed it. I thought it was 1903 that broke, but it wasn't. It was that stupid .NET update, and what it did was it included OBS in the microphone permissions. And now all of a sudden, so first it was Adobe, because Adobe they're like practically in bed with Microsoft. Adobe and Microsoft love each other, right? There's a lot of love going back and forth between those two. And OBS is open source, and so they probably are following rules, but not as like cutting edge as like Adobe. And so as soon as I allowed desktop legacy apps, boom, audio restored. I came back to this system, and I unplugged the new drive, plugged the old drives back in, booted it up, checked it. Sure enough, the microphone permissions had been locked out. Turned those permissions on. Boom. I'm using it right now. I'm not using the updated one because I'm missing a lot of my friggin' software. So I'm there. So anyway, that's my story. That's how I spent my summer. Fucking dealing with goddamn permissions and Windows. And what it is that, and I know what they're doing. If you own an Android, you know how you can lock down like the camera and the microphone. Like, I don't want apps to like use my camera or use my microphone or be able to like read my contacts. And I like that. And so the whole thing about Microsoft was that they were going to use telemetry like crazy, right? They were going to like find out what you liked and all your contacts, and they were going to find all this information about you. And so I just locked all that stuff down. There's a whole sequence I go through. I have a OneDrive removal batch file, which if you want, let me know. I'll lay that batch file in. It's sick. You just got to run it as an administrator. But it wipes out OneDrive, so that's not tracking all your files and crap. I hate that. It's like, stop stop spying on me, for Christ's sakes. They're really bad about that. So that's why I shut all that down. I go through a whole thing where I just shut all those permissions off. Wound up biting me in the ass because they extended those permissions, because it's all for the new gen apps, and I don't care about those new gen apps. I don't use them, but they extended it to legacy apps. And my whole house cards crumbled down. That was the end of that. So I had to grant them the permission. And grant permission to the camera. That's why the camera wouldn't work. Because I said, no, you can't use my camera. And they're like, okay. Yeah, this one here, Blackjack. What kind of custom? J custom. Is that ebony or rosewood? It's rosewood. They don't do a ton of ebony. Someone said show the back. I don't want to whack and see, neck and see. See you, metalhead hippie. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. Hey, Boogie Woogie Creep. Nice to see you, buddy. Stacked humbucker, yay or nay? I think they're okay. It depends on who makes it. But there's a few people out there that use a stacked. Isn't the Area series from DiMarzio? I think those are a stacked, right? Area 51 and so forth, Area 62 or whatever they do, where they do I think that's a stacked, right? The Ingves, I think, are a stacked, unless they're using some sort of a dummy coil. I don't know exactly. It's like lace sensors aren't, and the Fender noiseless aren't. There's definitely some ones out there that are like a side coil or a dummy coil, right? They do it a certain way, but I think stacked ones can sound pretty good. Duncan makes a stacked one I got. I think it sounds damn good. You know? Listen to how good that. Tone, man. That's tone, brah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Terry. Yeah, Steve's journey into Win 10 denying him service because he told it to. It's like, what? Listen, whatever you do not allow access to that microphone. They're like, you got it, boss. And I was like, Mimsy! Steve, you ever play out with a band? No, but I am trying to set up stuff for a band here. I finally got a whole bunch of crap gone over here, and I am moving out the electronic drum set because no drummer wants to play the electronic drums, even though they sound kick-ass and they mix amazingly. I did get a set of drum mics from Lewitt that are, God, they're sick. I'm down with the sickness. And they're amazing. So I'm gonna bust those out and use them. And I have a real drum set that I'm trying to put together and get that going. And I got a drummer. He just doesn't want to use the electronic kit, and I don't blame him. You know, he's used it in the past, but he's like, dude, it's like night and day, like how much my technique changes between, you know, the real drums and the drum pads. He's like, this is like a practice. He goes, it's not fun, okay? It's not fun. Like, all right. And I get it, right? I can appreciate that. So I'm going to probably break the electronic kit down and just store it. It's much easier to break it down and pull all the pieces apart and store it away. It's actually 2 drum kits merged into one, a Yamaha kit and an Alesis kit together. So I get all these crazy cymbals and crazy toms and everything, but he'd rather just use a regular, real 5-piece real drum set. And I have one. I have I think it's a PDP, you know. It's great. Nothing wrong with the PDP. Sounds great. And he actually came over a couple of years ago and tuned it up for me. He loved it. He's like, dude, this kit's pretty kick-ass. I paid short money for it, like $150. And knew they're like $7.99 or $8.99, so I felt like I got a pretty good deal. And, you know, piecing together a few cymbals for it. I reached out to the guy from Meinl, who also does Ibanez, and the guy's ghosting me. Said, hey, bro, can you hook me up with like the $399 cymbal pack? And it was like crickets. Like, okay, maybe not. So, yeah. It's the, and you know what I'll probably do? I have a big hunk of the foam. Put the foam on the back wall, and then I'll put a plexiglass barrier in front of him, right? One of those. They're about $250. It's like a 5-segment barrier. So between the barrier and the foam, it should be a nice little isolated drum kit for the most part. I even have another curtain here I can put up to isolate me a little bit, and have them over for jams. I got some. These guys are good players, way above my friggin' pay grade. So it'd be good to get him over here. And the best thing is that the drummer does not live too far away. He lives about 10 minutes away from here. So 15 minutes tops. So it's a jaunt. For him to head over here and hang out. So, and we've been buddies. We've been buddies since he was like, I want to say 14 and I was 17. We played in a band together for like a year, and we've been friends ever since. And he plays in probably one of the biggest bands in Boston now, like probably the biggest GB band in the whole city, easily. So, he's making a living. The tricky part is getting him here because he gigs so much. And what you always want to say is, I never want you to, like, not, like, this is nothing, just, And he's like, well, trust me, I'm not. But it's, it lends itself, right? You gotta get it done. Yeah, Sean, it kind of is. Hey, Johnny. Mr. Bean. Okay, you ever use Amplitude or Bias Favorite? I have a full-blown copy of Amplitude that came. Ikey Multimedia sent me a foot pedal, that comes with a full-blown version. In fact, I'm going to do a video on it soon. God, I've had that thing for like a friggin' year now. But I got a video coming up on it. The whole thing about that is the unit is $299. but it comes with full-blown versions of all their major software packages. You get about $800 worth of software on it. So you can either buy the full-blown version of, and it's like the premium one, not the starter one, the full-blown version of Amplitude for $299, right? I think that's the premium one, right? Like the starter one's $99, and you can just buy add-on packs from there. Or there's one with a bunch of the add-on packs already included, and it's like $299. And then there's like the super over-the-top, everything installed for like $500 or $600. But it's not that one. It's like the one for like $299. But that's how much that stupid foot pedal goes for, $299. So you can like get hardware plus Amplitude, plus I think their base software or something like that. I forget what the other package is. And then like their high-end, like, because it's for vocalists, it does like their vocal software, like their, enhancer and EQ and all that stuff, warmer, like tube warmer and all that crap. It's all built right in to as a part of the purchase. So I just think from a purchasing standpoint as a consumer, buying the foot pedal is the way to go, because one, you get a big software suite with it, and they're full-blown versions, no trial limited versions here, and you can you can use it as an interface, or you can and use the PC software. It comes with full PC software, or you can use it for your iPad and plug an iPad in and use it as a standalone unit away from a computer. And it comes with full-blown versions of all their software for iOS, right? So you get it for Mac, PC, and iOS. I mean, it's a no-brainer to go for the foot pedal. That said, I do like THU better. It's just, they're the one to beat. I don't know what to tell you. It's like they're the one that's just been kicking ass for like the longest time. And every single time someone comes up, I mean, the other one is, look at what the hell was Guitar Rig doing? Guitar Rig was great. The last time they updated was 2012, like 7 years ago. The only thing that I can, the only other one that I can think of is PV Revolver, and the rumor is that they're going to do an update soon. Within another year, you'll see an update out of PV, and they'll update their software. I don't know if it's going to be version 5 or 4.5, or if they're going to just, I don't know what they're going to do with it, but I think they've been working behind the scenes. So, the software isn't, it just bums me out that the Guitar Rig isn't pushing it. Amplitude is up to 4.5, and I wouldn't doubt if they do 5.0 within the next year or two. So you want to see that. It's like, I want them all to fight. Lower prices and give us tons of amps. Right? It's like what you don't want to see Guitar Rig go away, or Amplitude go away, and THU is the only one left, because competition helps breed innovation and keeps costs down. Are you a rum guy? Not really. We went out the other night. I had a couple of lemon drop martinis, the vodka. Those are good. Lemon vodka martini. Those are crisp, man. They're good. Hey, you bought the GT1000. Yeah, right there. That's a nice unit, man. I almost thought about hooking up tonight, but at some point I'll come on and I'll run through it. I got a video coming out on it. That's a killer unit. I love the friggin' GT1000. We were arguing about it because I think me and Jay Leonard J like it a lot. And Henning and Trey Xavier were kind of giving shit. And they weren't even giving shit about the sound. They were giving shit about the interface. And I was like, I don't know. Maybe I'm more computer oriented, but I had no problem moving around the interface. But, I know what they're saying. Like, there were some opportunities lost at certain screens, but I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Vodka martini with a good steak, brah, right? right? We grew up on Kayla's in Los Angeles. Yeah, Kayla, that was it. Kayla or Floyd Rose. You know, it was the Coke and Pepsi of the time. The newest Nimbrini Neural DSP plugin alliance, which uses Nimbrini plugins, are really increasing quality of SEMs. Okay, you know, I just tried the oh god, what was that one? That Blue Cat audio, Axiom, and it's getting better. And you know what else has gotten better? But I'm still not. It's still not on my recommended list yet. Is Helix Native, the software. It's good. It's gotten a lot better from version 1. Okay, I'm gonna just come right out and say it's a lot better than than it has been from version 1. It's still not quite there yet, though. Their hardware blows it away. It so bums me out because their hardware is sick. The Helix is sick. It sounds amazing, especially the rack unit. It's just friggin' amazing. And when you compare it to other top quality units, it's right up there, you know, with Kemper and Axe Effects, you know, and some of the sounds I think I even like better in the Helix. Helix hardware is a thing to behold. The software is just okay. Again, like all of them, the clean sounds sound good, but they just can't get the dirt to right. It sounds a little fizzy. And again, I'm sure it's like a filtering thing. I don't know. I don't know how THU pulls off. Even Amplitube is better. And certainly, what's the British company there? That they don't have a ton of amps, but the ones they make are good. You know that company? Eskier. Yeah, they're friggin'. They sound real good too. Wish they made more amps, but the ones they make are top quality. Digital noise kills it for you. Yeah, it depends. Again, if you have a decent system, it's usually pretty good. You know, you got to have a little bit of power though. The friggin' the floor units are getting so damn good though. Again, that GT, you know, that's designed to compete with like a Kemper and those things. It has a bunch of like, you know, its own built-in amps. What's cool about it is, and this is, I think, sort of the value proposition for all this stuff, is that they'll put out a friggin' update. That thing's been updated 3 times. And every time it's been updated, they've added more amps, more cabs, more functionality. You know, they fix bugs. And then all of a sudden, the last one they did, which was in April, added like a whole bass section, bass amps, bass effects, and now you can just run your bass through it. You know, it's something you can't do with a traditional amp. Oh, today you'll be a goddamn bass amp. It doesn't work like that, right? It's like, but with the GT, it does, right? Because it's just a matter of signal processing, so they can be ready for those signals in that sense. So it's good, man. I like that stuff. You know, again, as someone who grew up on computers and kind of techie, you know, I dig it. Slideshow? No slideshow tonight. Sorry. Divorced and living in the sticks, no noise police. I like that. I don't have that here. Would you run that GT1000 through a PA? Have you tried? I haven't tried, but I would. It's really designed for that. It's designed to be, it doesn't have power, right? It doesn't have it's not like a floor amp like the new Hughes and Kettner Black Spirit floor amp that has like 200 watts. Not like that. But it's more like a Kemper that doesn't have any speaker outputs, and you just run it to the house. The house gives you a stereo signal, and they love it, and you run in-ears out of like some monitor that you plug into up on the stage, and you're good to go. You just got the mix in your headphones, in your in-ears, and you're done. You're good. You know? Did I read your super chat? I had to pee. I didn't see a super chat. What super chat? I'm backing up. Let me read the super chat. I'm backing up. I don't see it. I don't see one. Can I bring one back up by clicking up here? Nope. No. Oh, well, Tom just gave me one. I see that one. Sorry, man. If you gave me one, I didn't see it, and I can't seem to back up. But pose your question again, and I will get to it. I think within a decade, maybe sooner, they will start the Model 2 amps that are at the part level with nanotechnology. Thoughts? Absolutely could happen. They've already had a major breakthrough with the cold cathode, right? The cold cathode that they use, it's basically a cathode tube, but it's the new tube, right? Which doesn't emit any heat. Pretty slick, right? It's not like a tube. It is a tube, but just with new technology, and doesn't emit the heat, and it's not as fragile, right? So it's going to get there. People want tubes because of the way audio clips in a tube. It clips very softly. With digital, it clips very hard, and with solid state, it's a very harsh clip. Sounds horrible, right? Tubes clip very soft, and they sound great. We're like, oh, I love that breakup. That breakup. But, someone will crack the tube, puzzle. And, I mean, the technology's been around forever. It would sounds like something someone would be able to do. And again, with the new tube, you're sort of seeing it. Will it ever be straight up solid state? Maybe, I don't know. I think within a decade, maybe sooner, they'll start to... Oh, yeah, right. Oh, yeah, no. Okay, now I see. Yeah. Was that the question? If it is, I've answered it. I hope that was the question. If not, just throw it up there. I'll see it again. Tubes also push air differently. Yeah. Tubes have, a certain magic to them that as much as we've tried the last, 50, 60 years, we haven't really been able to... right, to replicate it all that much. Modeling is the thing that's come, I think, the closest to it so far. When you listen to something like the Axe FX or the Helix or the Kemper, those sound freaking amazing. Without all the being temperamental like a tube amp would be. But eventually, I think we're going to get there. Eventually. We may not be around to see it, right? What's the old saying? In the long term, you're dead. Have a great night. Is that Tone King? I worry that as years go by, we will lose. Sorry. I hope you can still hear me. I think I'm hitting that with my foot. I am. Son of a bitch. There it is. Under my thing here. Right. Hold on. Get caught my foot. There we go. I move my feet once in a while. I'm cutting off the circulation. You say, like, you won't know what tubes sound like. I don't think so, because the tube amps don't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. And there'll always be a tube amp to fire up. So I don't know if anyone saw Tone King's video within the last week, but he had posted a video about his Panama, like, was that where the chassis in Panama jobbed out to China, and the amp was merely assembled in Panama, right, into a chassis, right, into the actual shell, right, but the components inside, the guts of the system, were outsourced to China. And I got to say, I thought it was a pretty compelling argument. If you look at the Goldia faceplate, and you look at the Panama faceplate, it's a little bit more than a coincidence. One lining up, you might say whatever, but there's like a half dozen models that line up exactly. That can't be just a coincidence. So I thought it was well done. Well done, Tone King. You know. Because I think it's true. I think that's probably what was most likely happening, was that he was having the electronics made by China, and he was putting it in his own chassis to make it his own product, right? But the problem was is to have him put it in that chassis and claim it was made in Panama, which is really more like assembled in Panama. It's like 3 times the money. Like $400 amp was like $1,500. Yeah. But I thought, I don't know, thought he made some pretty good points. People are talking. No, seriously though, I mean, just look at that lineup, you know, between the two faceplates. How is it not? You know? Have you seen the new THR on the Katana? I have. I like the sound of both so far. I don't think I've heard one demo that I didn't think sounded good. So be looking forward to checking those out at some point. I'm sure I'll get the Katana here at some point. The Yamaha, I don't know if I have a contact with Yamaha right now. I'll have to see. Maybe it'll be Andrew. Yeah, like Tone King says, in Panama I was charging a huge premium. Isn't that the way? Ain't life? Isn't that how business goes? Well, thanks, Lloyd. Love to hear that. Oh, who has some hot, fresh coffee? I will have it in about 15 minutes. Oh, it's going a little fast here. Someone was asking me a question. Steve from Boston, do you remember Retro Tubes? Jet City had them for a while, and then they disappeared. I don't remember Retro Tubes. I remember Jet City. God, they were huge for a while. And them in Bulgaria, right? Steve, what was the last show you went to, and what's the next show you're going to or want to go to? That's a great question. What was the last show I went to? Let me think about that. What was the last show? Like a big show. Went with my wife to Weezer. That seems. I feel like I've seen shows since then. Might have been Steel Panther. Oh, Buckethead. Last show I went to was Buckethead. Back in April. There, it's right there. Buckethead. The Buckethead. Want to go to. I think Steel Panther's coming around here in like November. Got to check the date on that again. But there's really no one on the radar right now. I'd like to see Bonamassa if he ever comes through again. And trying to think if there's anyone else. Not really. Not off the top of my head. All right. Now I'm going to scroll back down and look through here. Where's Robert Baker? Pose right. Don't worry about Baker. Steve, do you still have your artists from the 80s? All questions will be answered at the end of the year when I do my end of the year video. And you'll see the ones that have come and gone. But I've acquired some and I've sold some. And we'll all find out at the end of the year. The super chat need a brand of coffee called Napalm. I love that. I thought I read that one earlier. I only pay once for the same real estate. Yeah, no, I saw that. I read it. I remember. So have we decided guitars are dead? Yeah. So everyone, someone turn the lights on the way out. Pack it up, boys. It's over. It was, we were talking about it earlier. It was comments by Pete Townsend. He basically said that everything that can be played on guitar has already been played, that the instrument has been played out, and that it's all just repetition at this point, and there's nothing new to learn from it. It's been done to death, basically. And that's why we've moved on from it. And I was like, you shut your goddamn mouth right now. And then the other one was the guys of Polyphia, who Tone King and I were at TGU, the guy with the big neck tattoo. Those were basically saying that the guitar was sort of dying and that guitar had become boring and that they were trying to do all this stuff. And I kind of get what he's saying. Again, you're a young guy, you're trying to come up, and every riff you play has already been played by 10,000 other guitar players. So, it's tricky. But you see guys out there that are still doing it and still making it, and you see such a huge and vibrant community on YouTube, and I'm not ready to write it off yet. Of course, Pete Townsend, who's probably, hanging out and, drinking tea on his estate all day, isolated from the world. It seems like guitar's over, but, I don't know. I don't see it. If anything, I see more guitar brands than ever. When will we move on from rap? We're not moving on from rap. Should have had a 2-year cycle. Once it doesn't last, once it sticks around, it's around. The only thing that seems to have come and gone are certain, it comes and goes, but the whole genre in itself, that's not going. Only the styles within the genre will change, right? It'll become heavier, it'll become pop, more pop-like, more heavy, right? One of the earliest ones were the friggin' Run DMC. It was basically, a dude playing a Jackson guitar through a Marshall stack, right? It was heavy guitars with full-on rap music behind it. What's up, Serbia? Nice to see you staying up. Like I say, guitars like metal, they try to crush it every 10 years. Townsend is old and salty. Yeah, that sounds about right. Pete is old news. Yeah. Banned for saying rap. No, we can say rap. We can say it. We just can never rap. Ever. Where are my rap fans? On a little vacation. Oh, by the way, congratulations. Who's the lucky man? I don't have a clue. Then she said, the lucky man is you. I dropped my brew. Can't go wrong with the little cube. Cowboy rap. What is up with that? My wife and I were watching something, and it was a country song, and all of a sudden the dude started rapping, and my wife was like, what is going on? I'm like, country rap. She's like, this is stupid. I'm like, God. She's like, oh. She goes, this is horrible. Horrible. But it was. Guy started rapping. There's no guitar solo. It was goddamn rap solo. What's up, Mickey? Who cares? Just make good guitar songs. Well, that's just it. That's always been the thing. Same with movies, right? You can take the same tired plot, but if you write a good story, despite it being a boy gets girl, fish out of water, buddy movie, whatever you want to call it. Odd Couple, right? Shrek and Donkey, right? There's it's been done to death, but they just do it again, and they do it in a more clever way. But in the for the most part, that's what makes or kills a story. I mean, a movie, the story. End of the story. Period. Yeah, country rap, right? Not as stupid as mumble rap. I'll have to trust you on that one. I don't think I've heard any mumble rap. Oh my God, it's 10 minutes to 9 already. Damn. Twilight Zone. Talked about Katana 2 yet. I don't have one here, but they look cool. I think it just adds double the amount of amps. It just adds twice as many amps. I think for each amp now there's a variation. And then it might add a few more effects, if I'm correct. But for the most part, the lineup is similar, a 50, 100, They're going to kick us out at 9. Just you, Thunder Buddy. Just you. Yeah, Run DMC with Aerosmith. Are you going to pick up an Ibanez AZ, being an Ibanez guy? Maybe. The one I like is I think it's called the 5120? The one with the frozen ocean? The one I played at the Rockin' 1000? That's a killer axe. It comes with the Fishman pickups. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. They're nice. Can I just send you one of my TTM guitars handmade in Northern California in the Gold Country? Sure. I'm way behind on checking out gear though, so you might want to hold up until I swear to God until after the first of the year, because I have so many videos from TGU and from Gear Street and from Summer NAMM and other gear here I have to do. That guitar is just gonna sit here, man. You're gonna be like bummed out, and so just wait. Let my schedule clear up a little bit, and crank out a bunch of the ones I already have in the can, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I like checking out guitars. Have you seen the new Joker movie? No, I don't. The last movie, I don't go to the movie theater anymore because I have a friggin' 110-inch screen up in the attic, so watch it on that. And between the screen size and the surround sound, it's pretty close to going to the movie theater without all the people, which is great. The last movie I saw in the theater was Tropic Thunder, and I believe that was 2008. I haven't been to the theater since. Have a good night, Justin. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. So after all the discussions, is it Kemper that wins the top spot? I don't know. It depends on who you ask. Some people would say Axe FX. Some people would say Helix. I tell you, I think the GT1000 is good, and it's like half the money of all those. That thing's only like $999, and it sounds great. So, I mean, there's a lot of choices out there. I think the Helix sounds killer. I think Helix and Axe FX and Kemper are all sort of like one level, certainly price-wise. They're all $2,000 or thereabouts and up. That's half the money. That's like $999. That's under $1,000. So that's, I think, another level of... That's more like the Kemper floor unit. That new Axe FX floor unit. That's what that's like competing with, that unit there. 5-minute warning notification. Was guitar being dead discussed? It was. We've concluded it's not. And that it's all just Pete Townsend. We got 4 minutes. All right. Steve, where would you put the Viper Pro then in comparison to them? Well, the Viper Pro is very different. The Viper Pro is a combo amp. Now, it does have, nice modeling and good processors in it, that's for sure. It's got a Shark processor, a couple of them, I think. But still, it's a different beast. I would say that the Boss GT1000 is more sophisticated, Here's the thing about the Viper Pro. I think with humbuckers and for metal sounds, it's really damn good, And even some of the clean and sort of crunch sounds are pretty good. But when I run my Strat through it, sometimes I'm like, it's not enough oomph on the input drive to make that amp sound good. And I'm like, wow, because we've played it with friends, and then I play through the Katana, it will sound better. So with the single coils, I think the Katana does a much better job than the Viper Pro. When I think of the Viper Pro, I think of it more of like lining up with like a Katana artist. And if you look at the cost, they're just about the same cost. So, and of those two, I think the Katana artist is the better of the two. The PV is awesome, and I love setting it up with like the clean amp and the fuzz pedal. That sounds sick. Put like one of their nice warm clean amps, in the second slot. It put the fuzz pedal in the first slot. It's a creamy fuzz. It's a really nice fuzz, But again, you're getting away from a straight up amp at that point. When I run just the straight up amp sounds, the Viper Pro, for the metal stuff, it's great. But when you start to get to the less metal stuff, it's like, okay. And the clean stuff is just sort of okay. That's where I think the Katana does a better job, quite frankly. I think it has a humbucker setting, dude. Okay, well, maybe it does. Maybe it does inside the, in the software. But I would think when you plug it in, it would just know, it could set its own gain based on what it's getting, right? So a lot of those are sort of like self-leveling. But, yeah, I think when a humbucker goes through the Viper 100, it sounds awesome. But the single coils, not so much. And it almost feels like there's not enough oomph from the single coil that the PV's looking for to drive its models. It's sort of like when people come to me and they're like, oh my God, when I play through the modeling software, it doesn't sound good. And I'm like, well, you're probably not sending enough signal through. Or you're sending too much signal through. You got to get that signal just right for the modeling software. So knowing that, I'm thinking that modeling amps need the same thing, right? It's all dependent on how that front end is getting, what it's getting for a signal. So there you go. All right, dudes. Well, there we go. We made it. .9 Guys, thanks so much for hanging out. I can't believe my system stayed up and working this whole time. It literally locked up twice in the 30 minutes prior to setting up. And I said, here we go. Good thing I got that Microsoft certification. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, awesome hanging out. To sum up, guitars, not dead. 2, new guitar. And there you go. And there you have it. All right. Dudes, wants to move to the attic. Hey, I don't know if I'm going to completely move to the attic. Well, we'll see. I'm still working it out. I'm working it out. I'm going to figure it out. But we'll see. We'll see. The lighting up there is potentially, to be really good, but we'll see. It's a work in progress. No, you rock. All right, guys. I'm scrolling up. And here we go. And we're scrolling up. 286 peak concurrent. That's a nice crowd. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Super extra thanks to anyone who contributed tonight. Super extra thanks to my mods, Krell Bar, and Terry. Appreciate it. And, I'll see you guys in the next one. And, get ready. I'm going to have some vids coming out. I don't want to flood them out too fast, but I've got so much content in the can that, I got to start putting them out at a medium pace. At a medium pace at the very least. And go from there. All right, dudes. I'm hitting the button. No, you rock. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Couple of weeks. Somewhere around there. All right. No, you rock. And as always, rock on. Later.